Good evening and welcome back to the Rory Talks Football channel, your daily Arsenal news, updates, debates and my opinions. And today, a group therapy session after the Liverpool result. I hope you're all doing well. I hope you're all doing better than me. And look, it is what it is, isn't it? I'm like, do I get angry or do I just accept it? Do we just accept that this is how it is? I appreciate those of you that are already here. Input Louis, Saka, Ross, Magnus, Ethan, Udall. Let the ranting begin. I'm like, I made a TikTok where I was just raging and then deleted it and made a calmer one. We all knew it was going to happen. I feel like the reason I'm not so angry is because we just knew it was going to happen. It was always. And I was like, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. But anyway, we will get onto that. We'll talk about the other results. If you're new to the channel, please do subscribe. Smash a like on the video as well. It does massively help me as the YouTube channel is growing, you know, and I appreciate all of the support that I've had. Paul refusing to give the ball back to Forest and a blatant pen getting ignored. Yeah, look, there are some talking points from that Liverpool game, and we'll get into them. Ethan, good to see you. Leo as well. Jakob, good to see you. Missed the last couple of streams, but I always watch them back. I appreciate that. Look, anyone that's watching on the catch up, watching the videos back, you're legends. You're absolute legends. And I'm always live at 6:30 if you do want to join the live streams when they're live. Obviously, we'll have Guess the Gooner later on as well. Play until Liverpool scores. Yeah, that is the especially on Jurgen Klopp's farewell tour. It does seem like it's playing until Liverpool. Yeah, no, but look, right. We'll go and talk about it because there are some things where I, if I put my completely unbiased, not completely raging hat on, I feel like I can be unbiased about them. What am I trying to do? There we go. So, 90 plus 9. 90 plus 9. How did the 9 and 9 go today? Badly as well. Everything went badly. Do you know what? Everything went badly today. Liverpool scored in the 99th minute. My home team, Hereford FC, massive game away at another team that are fighting for the playoff spots, conceded to lose in the 95th minute. It's been torrid. Chelsea were losing, got a draw. Spurs were losing, got a win. I just haven't had anything. Anyway, look, the game. So, there are some things where I feel like, basically, I tweeted it as a joke, play till Liverpool score. But Liverpool scored 35 seconds after it ticked over 98 minutes, right? There were 8 minutes of injury time. They scored 35 seconds after that. I don't have a problem with that. If you go back to this, in the 90, where is it? Look, it hasn't got them on here for some reason. But there were two bookings. There were two bookings in the 93rd minute. Both of them were for time wasting. Konate also went down with an injury. So the extra time in injury time, I don't have a problem with. And we've had that ourselves. And when we did it, was it Rice against Luton? That was after the ticker had gone over 7 minutes. It was annoying when that was thrown at us because we were like, it's a minimum. So I'm not going to have an issue with that. The head injury is a different one because with a minute to go, Forest played a ball in. There was a bit of a clash. It seems really like Konate clashed with Kelleher, the Liverpool keeper, and he went down holding his head. And the ball went out to Callum Hudson-Odoi on the edge of the box, to the side of the box. And it was a while, like, Tierney wasn't blowing for a free kick, in my opinion. He blew for the head injury. And if he blew for the head injury and not a free kick, then the ball should have gone back to Nottingham Forest because they had the ball when he blew the whistle. But they didn't get it back. Liverpool had it. And a minute later, Liverpool scored. So that's the one that I have a bit of an issue with. The penalty, I think there could have been 2 penalties in that game and one of them could have gone to Liverpool. So, again, with that one, I'm like, nah, 50-50. They could have both been penalties. But I think that the Konate one's interesting. It'll be interesting to see what comes of that, because it did seem like he was given a free kick. Arsenal fans just can't understand that we have better mentality, and when end season starts, like the last 10 games, your players will shake. I'll be honest, Retka, you're acting as if you haven't lost 5 out of the 6 title races that you've had with Man City. Like, in fact, actually, the only time that you went on to win the league, there wasn't really a title race at the end. You were miles and miles ahead. Every single time it was close between you and City, you lost. So, look, I don't disagree. Liverpool's mentality, Liverpool's ability to pick up late winners this season has been brilliant. But don't come in here giving it the big I am, when the reality is Man City have dealt with you pretty much every time there's been a title race. Just settle yourself down just a little bit. You know, you're not that guy. You're not that guy. Just get us to Monday night already. Well, that's the other thing that's annoying about playing on Monday night, is that we just have to deal with this stuff and stew on it until Monday night. And then, like, assuming that Man City win tomorrow, it's just like, well, best case scenario, we're just exactly as we were at the start of the weekend. If we win the league through all of this, I don't want to hear shit from rival fans. They can hold that. Yeah, I mean, listen, it does feel a little bit like, you know, Liverpool are getting the rub of the green from referees, but they did have the thing that happened against Tottenham, which they'll hold over everyone's heads. Arsenal fan can't chat about being that guy either, but I'm not chatting about being that guy. I'm just discussing my live stream and talking about Liverpool. It's someone else that's come into here and started giving it the big I am. I'm not giving it the big I am. With Pool fans like Retica, that's why I'd never want Pool to win the title. Yeah, but then I don't want City to win it either. That's the issue. That is the issue. Everyone knew they were getting a last-minute winner. Everyone knew they were getting a last-minute winner. It's just that actually the super frustrating thing was why Forest wouldn't just clear the ball. Just clear the ball. I don't understand. I don't understand what they were playing at defensively. What are you trying to dribble out from the back? Just hoof it. Just hoof it. We've played the best football I've ever seen the past month, and we're still 2 points behind. If we win on Monday, it's so frustrating. It is what it is. Look, to an extent, like, we put ourselves in this position. We did put ourselves in this position. So it kind of is what it is. But it is frustrating. It is frustrating. Like, Liverpool, I mean, you look at the stats. To be fair, you know, arguably they did enough. They had 22 shots. They only had 2 shots on target, though. That's crazy. 22 shots, 2 on target. Didn't actually create any big chances. Had double the XG. But again, you know, they're conceding, you know, enough. Elanga should have scored. Elanga should have scored, realistically. The Fulham loss and the West Ham loss pissed me off to this day. They all do. All of the losses annoy me, right? The West Ham and Fulham ones are annoying because of, you know, how badly we played. Fulham especially because we were just awful and we took the lead. West Ham just couldn't finish our dinner. The Newcastle loss is obviously frustrating because of the goal that we conceded. The Villa loss is frustrating because we scored a legitimate equaliser in the final minute. You know, but what can you do? What can you do? There's no point dwelling on it now. We've just got to keep going. We've just got to keep going. You know what? Tomorrow as well, it wouldn't surprise me at all if Man U hold on for like the first 80 minutes. And then City get a late winner. That's the one thing that just, like, we are playing better than City and Liverpool, but they're just relentless in getting results. You know, I feel like people think that Man City have kind of, you know, are struggling, but they have also won like 15 out their last 17 games. They've won 15, drawn 2, and lost none. They're just getting results. They are getting results. Thoughts on Mikel getting 250 million to spend in the summer? It's a lie. I don't think. Well, I say it's a lie. That's harsh, maybe. But the person that tweeted out that, so basically, someone, if you didn't see it, someone tweeted yesterday that claims to be in the know, saying Arsenal have 250 million to spend before we make any sales. I don't believe it. Like, straight up, I don't think that person's telling the truth. You know, they've been known to tweet very optimistic things before because it does well on Twitter. I can't see how we'd possibly, having had no money to spend in January, have 250 million plus sales in the summer. I think we've probably got 120 to 150 million plus sales. That makes sense. Yeah, we're in the Champions League. Spurs were in the Champions League for years, didn't have that kind of money to spend. Yeah, we've got some decent deals that have come through, but I don't think we're spending that much money. We know better than most that scraping through games in a title race like that isn't sustainable. It's draining, and those goals won't always come. We just need to keep doing our thing. I agree. That is the optimistic view, and I do think like Liverpool can't sustain this, but they're doing it right now with a poor team. You know, you look at the starting lineup today. That you're not going to see this many more times this season. Clark, Gomez at CDM, Elliott off the right wing, Gakpo through the middle, who I don't think is very good. You're not going to see that many more times this season. The players are coming back. Nunez was on the bench, Szoboszlai, Endo. Like, that's the issue. Is that, the players are going to come back. Some of them will be, in better shape. So I do think they're going to pick up a little bit. I do think that the way they're playing will pick up a little bit. But, they've got some tough games still. They do have some tough games. This would have been a bonus. It would have been a bonus if they'd dropped points away at Forest. But when you're that close to it, it's a heartbreaker. It's a heartbreaker. But let's talk about the other games. Hilarious. This was the only one that ended up actually, being enjoyable for us. If you had to pick a winner between Liverpool and City, feels like Liverpool are going to continue to win most games, conceding multiple big chances when it feels like every shot against us goes in. I would still pick Liverpool to beat Man City. I know they're, a point further ahead, but I would pick Liverpool to beat Man City because I see Liverpool dropping points elsewhere in the season. I don't see there are many places where City drop points. I still think City are the favourites. I still think they're the ones that we've got to catch, more so than Liverpool. So, yeah, I think I honestly, obviously people will say a draw would be great because as long as we win our games, that would mean that we go top. But I'd rather the extra point not going to City for the draw. I don't think Paul will lose many games, but can see them draw in 3 or 4 games, excluding the City game. Yeah, exactly. I can see more results like today. More performances like today, just not results necessarily. But again, the kind of flip side of that is obviously we're Arsenal fans, so we're talking about it from that perspective. The flip side of that is, can we sustain the way that we're playing at the moment? Liverpool could get better. At some point, we have to drop off. There's no way we can play the way we're playing and dominate games the way we are from now until the end of the season. That's not possible. So we have to make sure that when we do drop off a little bit, we still get the results in the same way that Liverpool and City are. It was a big game considering the midfield, Bobby Clark and Joe Gomez. Yeah, exactly. For them to get through that, like realistically, again, being fair to them, imagine we had an away game where we had, what would it even be? Like realistically, Fabio Vieira at right wing, and Nketiah through the middle. Fine, you probably still have Martinelli, and then a midfield of like Kivior at CDM, El Neni, and Smith Rowe. Oh, they had one, Erdegaard maybe. Like realistically, if we had that many of our first team out and had to be replaced by kids and players that don't normally play, we'd be saying that's a massive win. We'd be saying getting through that with 3 points is massive. So, that's how Liverpool fans will be feeling this evening, and fair play to them. FYI, I told you Fulham would beat Brighton 4-0 and wasn't far off. You were correct. You were you weren't correct. You were wrong, but you were very close to being correct, which was impressive. Salah, Gravenberch, Trent, and Jones returning, so options will be there. I don't know how long-term those injuries are. I thought Gravenberch looked like it was going to be a bit longer. Same with Jones, but, I don't know when they'll be back. But like you said, when they do come back, it'll be a boost. It'll be a boost for Liverpool, that's for sure. But look, Brentford-Chelsea. Let's move on to a lighter note. Chelsea, I don't know what happens in the dressing room at halftime, but the amount of times they play quite well in the first half, today they played pretty well in the first half. They were 1-0 up at half time. They could have been more than 1-0 up at half time. They come out in the second half, and it's like Pochettino's just told them all that their mothers have just died. Like, they come out and it is just completely deflated. And it happened again today. They went 2-1 down. They managed to get an equaliser, which is frustrating, but it's crazy. It is crazy. And I was thinking about it today. Like, Gusto, I think, right now is their best player. In terms of if there's one player currently at Chelsea that plays consistently well enough, I know he still has weaknesses defensively, but plays consistently well enough, it's Gusto. And I'm like, Gusto is almost the complete opposite of what their transfer policy has been. Like they spent a lot of money on him, but Gusto was probably never even meant to start. Like, if Reece James could stay fit, Reece James would start. So they kind of bought Gusto for relatively, now I'd say you look at it, relatively cheap for him. And he's developing really well, and that's what it should have been. But he's the only sort of signing that they did like that, really. It's weird. Gusto or Palmer? Yeah, Palmer, possibly. He missed a good chance today. Watkins over any striker in the summer, 30 goals and assists so far. He is playing very well. To be fair, someone tweeted earlier, Unai Emery has a habit of getting a lot out of a striker. Like, Unai Emery has a habit of going to a club and the striker, the solo striker, performs exceptionally well. And I do wonder if Watkins would perform that well at Arsenal. I'm on the Gyökeres train now. I got on the Gyökeres train this weekend, and we're gone. That train has left the station, and it is not stopping. So at this point, I feel like I am on that. But I would take Ollie Watkins. The thing with Watkins is I can't see him leaving Villa this summer. I don't, Villa have no reason to sell him. He's on a long contract. Short of him forcing his way out, which I don't think he'd do. I don't think so. He's older than Jesus, though. Watkins or Watkins is. Gyökeres isn't, is he? Gyökeres is 25. I don't know about Watkins. I don't think he could do it in the UCL. I think he could do it in the UCL. Whether or not he could do it enough to win the UCL is a different question. Who do you think will get relegated? Let's have a look. You've got Luton currently. I assume they're currently losing. What's the score in that game? Are they getting what actually is the score in that game? Yeah, they're 2-0 down. So Luton are going to lose. Watkins has got both of them. And they're getting dominated. So, okay. So, the thing is, right, Forest and Everton both lost today. And that was a big defeat for Everton. For Everton to be 1-0 up at home against West Ham, to then go and lose that 3-1, that's a big defeat for them. They're going to lose another probably 6 points, which will put them a point behind Luton currently, and Luton would have a game in hand over them. And then you got Forest. Burnley and Sheffield United are gone like Donkey Kong. So realistically, I still don't think Brentford. I just have a feeling Brentford won't get sucked into it. And because Forest and Everton are going to lose those points, assuming Forest lose 6 points as well, they'll be 2 points behind Luton. I don't know. I just still feel like Luton go down. I don't know. Luton recently have not fallen off, but their performances have dipped a little bit recently, and that's a bit worrying for me, especially at home. So I've got a feeling in the end the gas tank might just run out for Luton. You look at the squad depth at Forest, Everton under Sean Dyche. I think they'll scrape it. Yeah, I think so. I think it'll be Luton, unfortunately. All three promoted teams going back down. Yeah, I think you might be right. Let's look at the other results. Big win for Fulham, that. Do you know what? This Rodrigo Munoz guy, I like him. 22 years old. He's just been doing his thing since he came to Fulham. 5 goals and 1 assist in 8 starts. And he just looks good. So fair play to him. Look at that, what performance. Wilson cooking. Brighton, by the way. Brighton are struggling. Brighton are in 9th now. Only a point ahead of Wolves, who also got a 3-0 defeat today. Chelsea just funny. But Yeah, Brighton are not, and that's why I find it a little bit. Like, don't get me wrong, Brighton have had their own injury issues as well. But I saw a thing today about how Liverpool are looking at, if they don't get Alonso, they're looking at De Zerbi, and I'm like, I don't know about that one. I would not be scared of Liverpool next season under De Zerbi. I have to say that. I would not be scared of them. Arsenal fans calling us unsustainable for winning last minute, but when Arsenal do it, it's the games that win you titles. Yeah, but I agree to a certain extent, but I'm not. I don't think you're unsustainable because of last minute winners. I think you're unsustainable because of just overall performances, and I think some Liverpool fans would agree with that. The last minute winners are. You're right. It's, when we had the Reece Nelson last minute winner against Bournemouth, we thought that was, a Premier League winning moment potentially. Um, it's the performances that I think are unsustainable, and you're free to disagree with that. Um, it's your opinion. Tottenham 3, Palace 1. That was annoying. Palace went 1-0 up. I thought Spurs would equalise, but to score twice in 3 minutes, it's just like, Palace, what are you doing? What are you doing? Paul or us last season? Possibly. Possibly. You hope so. You hope so. It wasn't sustainable for us. Exactly. Exactly. So, and that's the other way of looking at it, H7. When people told us last season that it wasn't sustainable doing what we were doing, and we said they're the games that win you titles, we were wrong. And you probably laughed at that. So, if all England teams win all 3 Euro competitions, Prem top 9 go into Europe competitions, that's crazy. Yeah, it's nuts. It is nuts. And we're going to be at the point where, especially like, the amount of games that are going to have to be played on Sundays because of that is wild. Clark, good to see you. How is your FPL? Honestly, I haven't even looked. But yeah, fair play to Spurs. Fair play to Spurs. I mean, this is interesting as well, right? This top 4 race now, I think United are out of it. Have done for a while. Just don't think they've got the consistency to compete. But Villa are just marching. Villa are marching on. And I think that's going to be a fun battle. If it ends up being that only 4th gets Champions League, that's exciting. That's exciting. I mean, maybe the fact that we've had Salah, Alisson, Trent, Szoboszlai, Jota, Robertson missing for a prolonged amount of time contributes to our performances not being 10 out of 10. Yeah, that's exactly what I said. I went through your team and said about all the players that were missing. You're right. I said your performances will probably improve when players come back. You're right. Is Osimhen to Arsenal off? Well, I don't think it was ever on, really. I don't think Osimhen to Arsenal was ever on. I think it's something that we're interested in. I think any team that's looking for a striker this summer will be looking at Osimhen as the number one target, probably. Just comes down to money at the end of the day. Our run-in is the toughest of them all. I think City's is. On paper, I think City's is, because they have to go away to Anfield and they play against us. So they have to play both of the title contenders. They've also got Villa, United, not really difficult. I think they got Spurs. I think on paper City have the hardest running. It just doesn't look as hard because it's City. How was June 2? I've not seen any of them. Do you recommend them? Yeah, I do. I think it's really good. I really enjoyed it, actually. June 1 is slower, and they're both long films, right? They're both just under 3 hours. June 1 is a little bit slow, but it builds the story. Like, it massively builds the foundation for June 2. And June 2 is way better because you have that foundation. And June, yeah. It was like, I watched it in IMAX, and it was a proper visual and audio experience. With a good story as well. So yeah, I would recommend. City next 4 games: United, Pool, Arsenal, Villa. Yeah, exactly. That's tough. That is tough. And then who's after that? Like Brighton or someone? Let's have a look. Who are their fixtures? Yeah, so they've got United. Okay, Champions League game, easy. Liverpool, Newcastle, Brighton. Oh no, Newcastle's FA Cup. So yeah, Liverpool, Brighton, Arsenal, Villa. Tough. They're saying it's the best film of the decade. No, I wouldn't go that far. If England win the Euros, who do you think wins the Ballon d'Or? Probably Jude Bellingham. To be honest. I think he's got. If England won the Euros, Jude Bellingham has like the the perfect thing because he's got Real Madrid, which they absolutely love. That Ballon d'Or loves a La Liga winner. And that I know it's helped by the fact that Ronaldo and Messi have been playing in La Liga, but even outside of that, traditionally, like Premier League players just get frowned upon. So he's got the Madrid, exactly. Yeah. Elephant Boy said it better. He's got the Madrid PR and he'll have the Euros and he's young. Like, yeah. If England win the Euro, he might win the Ballon d'Or without England winning the Euros, especially if Madrid win the Champions League. They're smashing La Liga. So, yeah, I think it'll be him. I do think it'll be him. Other results today? Yeah, that's big, by the way. I mean, I wonder if David Moyes will ever get any credit. I wonder if West Ham are sat in 7th. And yet somehow West Ham fans still want him out. I know they got absolutely spanked by us, but I do think it's a bit harsh. And then, Newcastle. Newcastle bouncing back. Isn't it funny how Arsenal only smashed Newcastle because Newcastle are terrible now. Newcastle are an awful team now, and that's the only reason that we smashed them. And yet the very next game, comfortable 3-0 win at home. Funny that, isn't it? Funny that. Same with West Ham. We absolutely smashed West Ham. They've just gone away and won 3-1 away at Everton. Decent result. But we only ever beat them. We only ever dominate them because they're all awful. And it's nothing to do with us. Carter, no worries. You haven't missed a huge amount. A little therapy session about Liverpool's win. Kind of just going over the other results as well. Are you personally a good footballer? It depends what you define as a good footballer, to be honest. Like, technically, I'm quite good. But I played in goal for most of my career. Fucking career. It was Sunday League. But I played in goal for most of it. And then I broke my wrist when I was 19. And I'm not allowed to play in goal anymore. And then I've kind of played outfield here and there, but never really had like an actual position for it. I'm also just fat and unfit, which doesn't help. I'm playing in a big charity match this summer. Probably the biggest charity match I've played in. So we'll see. I've got number 41 on the back. I'm going to be playing CDM. Controlling the midfield. But not moving around the pitch like Declan Rice. Not moving around. What could have been? But, yeah. Saved a Jarrod Bowen penalty. Will forever be my claim to fame. How are you feeling for the Porto game? Yeah, confident. I'm confident for the Porto game. Like, I think the last 3 times that we've played them in the Champions League in the knockout stages, we lost away at Porto and then smashed them at home. Not that necessarily means anything, but I think we'll be fine. And yeah, without coming across as arrogant. Rory inverting into the attack. No, I sit just in front of the. To be honest, I've gone Declan Rice. I'm more of a Jorginho. You know, I've got the Jorginho mobility or lack of mobility, but press resistant, spread the ball out. That's me. Rory about to be part of the 2034 over 35s World Cup. Oh yeah. Rory to Arsenal. Here we go. Sadly not. Would you rather win the Prem or the UCL? UCL by an absolute mile. Rory register. That's me. That is me. At school, I actually played up front, but that was one of those ones where I went to a school where everyone else played rugby, so the football team was awful, and I was like one of the only people that actually played football outside of school. And so you just throw the best player up front. Starting 11 on Monday. Honestly, I think it would be. May as well go and find it. I honestly think it would be the same team that we played on the same starting lineup we had last game. Or maybe bring Trossard back in. Yeah, probably bring Trossard back in and put Havertz back into the midfield. But outside of that, I know we've got players coming back, but I just don't know if we need to risk them, to be honest. I mean, I don't know. Because the thing is, with the fixtures, obviously we've got that game. Then we've got a 5-day break. Brentford at home, the way they're playing, meh. Then we got the Champions League game, and then obviously that game's not on then. So, I don't know. I don't really mind. I heard Iniesta has a Rory poster in his room. He should do. I do worry about the Sheffield game for some reason. That's just I know the reason for that. That is what do they call it? What do they call it when like an animal learns behavior? No, what is it? Like when an animal learns from its environment. There's like a technical term for it. Ross has that. You've supported Arsenal long enough. Yeah, kind of like PTSD. Kind of like PTSD. And Pavlov's dogs? I don't know. Pavlov's dog's a thing, but I don't know if it's that. And I'll tell you the game. I'll tell you the game. Everton away, Monday night. Fucking Damari Gray. That's why. That's why you worry about the Sheffield game. Cold Monday night at Sheffield does sound scary. To be fair, we've been better at this sort of thing recently. Like, was it Palace we went to away this season on either a Monday or a Friday night? And it wasn't too bad. We have been better at it, but that Everton game killed me, honestly. That Everton game was McBurney penalty. We will not be there. We will not be there. In fact, we did Everton away as well, didn't we? Was that a Monday night? Maybe that was like an evening kickoff. Can't remember. Our bench should be stacked. Yeah, the bench should be crazy. Luton have scored. Can they make the comeback? Well, you've sold me a dream. Unless this hasn't updated yet. You've sold me a dream. You just gave me proper PTSD mentioning that Grey goal. I know. Right, anyway, it is time for Guess the Gooner, the game where I give you 5 clues about an ex or current Arsenal player. Sorry, I'm just trying to get this thing off screen. About an ex or current Arsenal player, and you have to guess who that player is. First person to get it. They have scored. Oh, they have scored. It's updated. Tahith Chong has scored for Luton. Look, interesting. Luton do score goals, to be fair. They do score goals. Guess the Gooner. Get your guesses in the chat. And first person to get it gets the immense pride and respect of the Rory Talks Football community. So, clue number 1 for today's Guess the Gooner. They scored 40 goals in 141 games for Arsenal. 40 goals in 141 games for Arsenal. They made their senior debut for Go Ahead Eagles. Clue number 3, they've won both the Champions League and Premier League in their career. Clue number 4, they made the exact same number of appearances for Barcelona as they did for Arsenal. Nobody has got it yet, which is fun. I like this. Nobody has got it yet. And clue number 5, they were the technical director at Ajax from 2012 to 2022. And people have now got it. Who was the first to get it? The first person to get it was Young Tar. It was indeed Mark Overmars. Ethan Udall was second. SS9 was third. Da was fourth. And Pekka was fifth. I assume you meant Overmars, not Overads. I'll give it to you. Phoebe was sixth. Clark, a close seventh. There you go, Mark Overmars. Interestingly, obviously he won the Champions League, but it wasn't at obviously it wasn't at Arsenal, but it also wasn't at Barcelona. It was way back at Ajax in 1995. So there you go. And then a little bit of fun trivia that he played 141 games for Arsenal and 141 games for Barcelona. I had hope then. I was first on my screen. That's brutal. That's brutal, Ethan. Unfortunately, yeah, you were second on my screen. Right below. Yes, you are. But look, yeah, we can't all be good at everything. How do people know this? I'm stunned. Just history, isn't it? Just history. Liverpool can't keep getting this lucky. You'd hope not. You would hope that they can't keep getting this lucky. Anyway, it's time for Guess the Non-Gooner. Guess the Non-Gooner. I will give you the full career path of a player who does not and has not played for Arsenal, and you have to guess who that player is. First person to get it correct wins the immense pride and respect of the chat. Slightly less respect than the Guess the Gooner, but a good level of respect nonetheless. I'm not old enough for these. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, Overmars is an older one. I don't know. I don't normally go as far back as Overmars, but there you go. So today's guest, the Non-Gooner, started their career at Aston Villa. They started their career at Aston Villa. They went to Burnley on loan. They went to Sheffield United on loan. They then moved permanently to Bolton Wanderers. They moved to Chelsea, then to Crystal Palace, then to Bournemouth, where they retired. So Aston Villa was where they began their career. They went on loans to Burnley and Sheffield United before moving to Bolton Wanderers full-time. They then moved to Chelsea, Crystal Palace, and retired at Bournemouth. And so far, I don't think anyone has got it correct. No one's got it correct so far. No one has got it correct so far. I'll give you a little clue. England international. England international. There we go. There we go. Who was it? It was Phoebe who got it correct first. It was Gary Cahill. Phoebe got it first. Drax was second. Saka number 7 was third. Francisco Oliveira was fourth. And Alcarp was fifth. Congratulations to Phoebe. I believe that is Phoebe's first ever win. How am I meant to know this? It's just trivia. It's these are the sorts of things that float around in the mind of the football fan. Yeah, to be fair, I didn't know that. I, for some reason, always just assumed that Gary Cahill started at Bolton. I didn't realize he'd actually been at Villa and Burnley and Sheffield United before that. But there you go. When is the flag quiz? The flag quiz will be soon. The flag quiz will be soon. I actually need to figure out a good way of doing the flag quiz. Should we try and do a flag quiz now? Wait, let me see if we can do. Let me see if we can do one little flag quiz, and then if we can, we'll do more in the future. I know you want the flag quizzes. Flags of the world. Oh, wow. Oh, this is a big quiz. This is a... Right. Let's get this up on here. Oh, this is big. It's 2-2. It's 2-2. It's 2-2. Luton have equalised. I mean, annoyingly, that's actually just a massive goal for Spurs fans. Like that, like I'm buzzing for Luton, but that is just a massive goal for Spurs fans, which is quite annoying. But hey, it is what it is. It is what it is. Carlton Morris with the Golazzo. Do you know what? I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to do this flag quiz because it's too long. There's 197 flags on it, and you've got 18 minutes. So we're not going to do that today. I'll find a better one to do though. I'll find a better one to do at some point. War a goal. I'm going to watch the goal now. I wish I could show you the goal, but obviously YouTube would take down my whole stream and video if I was to do that. So I'm going to watch the goal on my phone. Let's have a gander. And that's... Where is it? Well, I'm still waiting for it to be uploaded on Twitter. Just do a few. Rory waving the white flag. Yeah, I've waved the white flag. No, do you know what it is? I'm actually just starving, so I'm probably going to end the stream in a couple of minutes. And yeah. And unfortunately, I've been left to defend myself this evening, so I actually have to source my own dinner, which is really it could go wrong. It could go wrong. That's the reality of it. I am not a functional human being. What am I going to eat? That's a good. Your guess is as good as mine. To be honest with you, your guess is as good as mine. I need to figure that out. I was gonna eat before I did the stream, and then I was too busy making TikToks about Liverpool. So it is what it is. Where's this goal? I'm trying to find this goal. Where is the Twitter account that posts the goals instantly? Useless. Favorites pizza. Yeah, pizza might be the one. Pizza is probably the favorite at this point. It's tough out here. It's tough. It's tough out here. I've got to feed the dog as well. Got to make sure the dog gets fed. Nearly 3-2. I just want to see this goal. Oh, here we go. Oh, Alfie Doughty. That man can whip in a ball off his left foot. Luton nearly got a third as well. Crazy. Anyway, look, I'm going to end the stream so we can all just go and watch the end of the Luton game and I can eat. I massively appreciate you all for joining. As always, you're absolute legends. The plan is to have another stream tomorrow night. So I think the Man City game will finish at when does the Man City game finish tomorrow? 5:30. Yeah, so I'll probably go live at 6:30 tomorrow. I'll go live at 6:30 tomorrow. As normal, massively appreciate you all for joining. If you can subscribe and drop a like on the video before you leave, greatly appreciated. Have a fantastic evening. Pray that Manchester United can do something tomorrow, and I'll catch you tomorrow evening. Goodbye.